So, we're live, man. What's up, Kevin?
Not much, man. What's up, Mike?
What's that saying? Another day, another dollar. Yep, or 50 cents. I don't know. What is it now, Laura? With the economy is like changing and the economy's going down, so now a dollar is like what, 10 cents?
It doesn't matter because you're still salaried. So for you, when I'm thinking about the number of actual work hours you put in divided by what you're actually getting paid, sir.
Look, we are not talking about my work hours here.
But
we are not.
So another day, another dollar for you is actually like another day, another 0.025 cents for me.
And then some people, it's another month, another stimulus check. So
that part.
It really is. You know, what's funny to me is people got stimulus checks that weren't even out of work. It's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's not unemployment insurance. It is a stimulus payment to help kind of get the economy back where it belongs, get people spending money again. People who...
I don't need help with that.
Right?
I fully empathize with that.
Amazon.
No, not Amazon.
So, what the hell's been going on, man? What you been up to?
Just working and playing music, man. Playing a lot of music. I've been averaging about three gigs a week. Last week I had 5, I think. Yeah, so I've been pretty busy.
Yeah, I mean, every time I look at your Facebook, man, you're always playing somewhere. Yeah. Have you got like a favorite spot that you're going to, or?
I do well at Saints and Scholars.
Yeah.
I do really well. I like Wild Wing Cafe, where I saw you guys last too.
Yeah. That's my joint right there. Saints and Scholars is ground zero where I got COVID.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah, I totally got it from there. Totally got it from there last December.
We literally haven't been back since. I haven't been back to Saints since you got COVID there.
No, I went back.
That sounds about right.
I don't give a shit.
Just make a bumper sticker.
I got COVID here.
COVID at Saints. Yeah.
How'd you pinpoint it back to Saints?
Well, we did contact tracing because it's funny. Me and a friend caught it the same time. I mean, we started having symptoms on a Sunday together. He was a couple hours before me, and we were hanging out at Saints and Scholars. Was it the night before or 2 nights before?
I think it was like 2 nights before.
2 nights before. Yeah.
And that was the only night you hung out with him?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, well, he came over. Yeah, that was it. Only night. So I'm pretty sure that's where we got it. And I heard there were people there that had COVID and were out and about. But
I think I'm immune. I don't know. I mean, I've been out and about, and I haven't had any symptoms of anything. So
how in the hell are you managing that? Because you've been playing since. Well, did you take a break?
Well, I had to.
Yeah,
it was kind of paused. So.
How long did that last? About 6 months.
Oh, less than that. I mean, when the pandemic first hit, I was pretty busy with music, and I was also bartending at the Pickled Onion. I was doing that, and it was funny because when everything first shut down, all my gigs started getting canceled, obviously. All the bar, the restaurant shut down. They were really good about keeping us working over at the Pickled Onion. They gave people shifts and stuff, but it was funny because about a month before the pandemic hit, I got a job offer from a guy at a tile company that was one of the regulars at the bar. So as soon as it hit, I thought about that, and I gave him a call, and he's like, I knew you were going to call me. So I started working for him, and I've been trying to get out of bartending for a while. I've been doing it for a long time. And I got to work pretty much 2 days later. I was working with him, so that was a blessing. And then after the music started picking up, which was it was like a few months later, actually. I did a couple of virtual gigs and stuff, but a few months later I started playing gigs again. Wild Wing Cafe was the first one back. I played a free show just for tips only because I wanted to play. But and that went over really well. But I mean, there was a lot of good things that came out of it. I'm still working with him now, And then I do the music too, and I don't bartend anymore. Because I've been looking to get out of it because I have no problem saying it. I've been sober 3.5 years, so.
Oh, being a bartender and being sober has got to be like,
You know, it doesn't affect me. What affects me is dealing with all the drunk people all the time.
I bet that could be a pain in the ass. I bet.
Well, that's a pain in the ass, even, you know, if you're drunk, you know. You can be sober for 16 years, and I feel like dealing with drunk people is not going to be any more or less annoying in the duration of sobriety.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chasing people down to pay their tabs or telling them why they've banned for a couple weeks, you know.
Oh, God.
The fun stuff.
I don't envy bartenders at all. I never wanted to be one.
I just need to know who has been banned from the Pickled Onion for what. You know what? Don't tell me who.
I will
just
say
for
no
what.
names.
Probably
Okay,
some
no names.
damn cornhole players.
Probably this one seated here.
No,
it
just you know how it is. They drink too much and they act like children. So you know they may have disrespected guests that aren't regulars there. So you know, but stuff like that, just normal bar stuff. It happens.
I can't help but wonder if just bartending is what made you stop and go, I don't ever need to drink again.
What's like you got a bad story to tell from bartending? Like, what's your worst experience? You got to have something.
But also, I firmly believe in memory suppression. So take your
We're
time
bringing it
thinking
back.
this one over. Don't trigger the poor man.
Oh, yeah, he's digging deep for this one.
I mean, pretty much every shift. I mean, people flip out if you don't bring them their ranch. I mean, no, just trying to please everybody in a world where everybody cannot be pleased. So, yeah. It's your job to make everyone happy all the time, and it's also your job to go in there with a smile on your face and act like it's great. So.
Oh, that would be tough, man, especially for me. It's hard for me to fake a smile. Because, you know, sometimes if I don't like somebody, I can't fake it like a lot of people.
With the mask, you don't have to.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you know as well as I do that people can sense, mask or not, when you are sick of their shit.
It's in your eyes.
Well, the one thing that they all say is, "You should smile more."
Wait, you get that?
All the time.
Ew. Oh, I'm so sorry. Women all over the world. Now you know. It happens to men too, especially bartenders.
I don't know. I'm tired of the mask because you can't see what people look like. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just like, I wonder what that person looks like in the face.
I'm only
No, are they?
sad that when creepy men tell me to smile, I can't keep like a blood capsule in my mouth for just such an occasion.
You just got to make a weird face. That's all you have to do. Just make your weirdest possible face when they tell you to smile.
Well, I look at the eyes. I'm like, I think I know that person. Do I want to tell them, hey, can you move your mask for a second and see if I recognize you? You know?
I think, no, this unfortunately happens to me at work more than I care to admit, but I think the new, hey, sweetie, why aren't you smiling is, hey, sweetie, pull down your mask. And I'm like, oh, no, this is the new, you should smile more. Ugh.
They tell you to pull down your mask?
Like, hey, sweetie, pull down your mask. And I'm like, oh, no. I
I
don't
got
know what
something
to
you can
do
pull.
at that point. Wow, gross. Except I'm kind of mad that I haven't come up with that myself.
That's pretty invasive to think about it.
Well, to me, it's not any more or less invasive than some creepster being like, hey, sweetie, let's see you smile.
Look, we were in Georgia this past weekend, and we went to a Walmart. We went to a Target in, where were we at? Not Covington, Georgia, where they filmed the Vampire Diaries, by the way. Did not know that until this weekend. But anyway, we walked in to the Walmart, and I bet you 80% of people in there weren't wearing masks.
And the other 20% were employees.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was nice just walk in there and not feel like people staring at you because you're not wearing a mask.
I felt like I was getting stared at.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's just me after like a full year of having to wear a mask in public and wearing a mask for a solid 8+ hours of my day and then suddenly being in the public without a mask. I don't know if that was just like my own brain kind of tricking me.
What about these ones? that's covering their nose is exposed, or they have it hanging on their ear, but they just have it hanging there.
You mean me? Yeah, I mean, okay, so I will wear my mask at places now, but like you said, I'll have it down to here. I don't cover my nose. I'm sorry. You know what? Anybody got a problem with that? I'm sorry. Just don't look at me.
So he'll be half wearing his mask, but also bitching relentlessly about having to wear a mask.
Oh, God. Some of these people trip me out, man. We're riding around in Georgia. We see this guy that looks like Bernie Sanders on a bike by himself with a mask on.
In his defense, it was kind of chilly out. It was kind of chilly out.
He was keeping his mouth warm?
Look. First of all, I know on cold mornings when I'm going into work, I will put my mask on my face because it feels good. I like the warmth on my face.
Wait, you drive in your car alone with the mask on your face?
No.
Don't be that.
No. I'm not that person. But when I'm walking from my Jeep to my building and it's cold out, I want my mask on. It feels hella good, especially when I have it resting on my vent when the heat's on. That's like a warm blanket out of the dryer.
Well, what did you do before the pandemic, before masks? How did you warm your
mouth?
mouth?
I fucking face off. That's what happened.
Do you have a stylized mask? Do you have like a special mask?
It is a special mask, but it's really how special can it be? It's special because it's like the only mask I've ever found that like fits really well, but also doesn't break me out.
Let me ask a woman this question. Do you have different masks to match clothing that you're wearing?
Fortunately, I wear black every single day of my life, so any black mask does the trick.
Okay.
And I do have multiple different black masks, but I don't know. I can't buy a mask off the rack because it doesn't fit properly. Adult masks fall off. Kid masks are a little too small. So finding that perfect in between like mask size for my face has been the real struggle.
Do you wash your masks?
I do.
Really? Mm-hmm. Just like regular laundry?
No, not in my regular laundry. I wash my special mask with my face wash. I'm telling you,
too much.
It's a whole thing. For those of us who have to wear a mask for 8+ hours of our day, I have to worry about these things. I don't want to break out on my face, so I have to be mindful of these things.
Look, Kevin, I'll look at my Jeep right now, and I've got these surgical masks thrown in my back seat. You pick it up, there's probably brown spots on it where it's dead shit spilt on it, and I'm like, damn, that's all I got. Okay, no problem.
Sometimes I take my pants out of the washer and I forgot my mask in my pants. So
I did go to Lowe's one time and I forgot a mask. And this was like a month ago, so I'm still wearing masks in Lowe's. So I go in there and I'm like, I look at my Jeep, I'm like, fuck, I don't have a mask. But I have a gym shirt. So I took my gym shirt and wrapped it around like I was a camel herder in Egypt or something. Had it all around my face. I know I looked like an idiot walking in there.
Did they tell you that wasn't acceptable?
No.
I remember one time I walked into a store real quick and I didn't have my mask, so I did one of these. Sir, you can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? It's the same thing.
I think at this point, man, even the people working in the stores are like, fuck it.
Well, yeah. I feel like at this point, people working in the stores who are being forced to enforce the mask wearing are just happy for you to come in with something over your face, so they don't have to be like, hey, can you put a mask on, please?
Yeah, that's got to be annoying, I bet.
No. The sad thing about it, I think even if our governor raises the mask mandates, I still think it's not going away. You're going to still have that small percentage of the population that's going to be scared to death.
Well,
and
I think that's how it should be, though. I think the people that care about that stuff should still go with the way they want to do it, and the people that want to roam free.
As long as they don't look at me crazy in the store because I'm not wearing a mask.
I think we should totally normalize wearing a mask when you're not feeling well. Yeah. I feel like that's just kind of courteous and decent as a human. You know, if I'm feeling under the weather but I still have to go out somewhere, I feel like it's just the right thing to do to put a mask on so that I don't spread whatever nastiness I have if I have to leave my house. I feel like that's just common decency.
I know this is funny, and it just happened to be Asian people, okay? I'm not making fun of Asian people right now. But, before the pandemic, Asians were the ones that you always saw wear masks, right? Like out and about. Am I lying? You're scared to say something, aren't you?
I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop here, hon. What are you?
Well,
what's
anyway,
the story you're telling?
I was sitting in Chipotle eating one day, and I looked outside, and there were two Asians out there. There's a male and a female, and they both had masks on, and they were doing some kind of duck dance. And I recorded it on my phone. I may have it still. I don't know. Didn't I send this to you?
No.
No? And this was 2 months before the pandemic, so they were just wearing masks out there. I mean, they've always, when you see people wearing masks in public, it's always Asians. Because they still wear them. They wore them in China. They wore them in China 10 years ago.
To prevent the spread of, like, a common illness. They just didn't want to give other people a cold.
Well, no matter where you go in China, Japan, anywhere you go, you're shoulder to shoulder with somebody. So I understand that. I totally get
China's
that.
fucked up, man. So I watched this documentary on Netflix, and it was about facial scans and how the government tracks you and all that. Well, in China, you have to have your face scanned. They have, you have credit scores here in the United States. They have, personality scores.
Is that a real thing?
That's a real thing.
Because I saw that on Black Mirror.
Did I not tell you the same thing? He's never seen that Black Mirror.
She did tell me to see that.
So I'm like, I think what you're describing is an episode of a sci-fi series, and he's like, no, this is a thing, and I'm like, okay, kid.
Yeah, your credit score is your personality
score,
and if how many likes you get on Facebook and all that extra stuff, and how good of a person you are. I didn't think that was a real thing.
No, it's legit, bro. It was on that documentary, and they interviewed some people in China about it, and they actually like it. So,
let's do it. I'll do it.
Look, so they interviewed this woman, and what she was saying is it kind of eliminates going out to get to know people on dates and stuff, because if you know a guy's got a high credit score or personality score, he's probably going to be your type. You're not going to have to go on these second, third dates to try and fill him out. He's a good dude. But if you got a low fucking credit score, then you just...
And if you have a low credit score, personality score, whatever you want to call it, you have to work to get a better one. Yeah. You got to be a better person.
And they pay with everything through facial recognition. So you go to a Walmart or a Target, if they even got them over there, you have to pay using your face. And if you are a bad person with a bad personality score, you can't buy certain things.
So if you're a piece of shit, but your significant other isn't, you just go, here, babe.
That's kind of like my concern around that is if you are if you are trying to joint apply for something like a house, same thing with a credit score. Well, my significant other's shitty personality score afflicts my ability to get something or to purchase something or to finance something.
What?
Why are you looking at him like that?
I'm waiting for somebody to answer. But no, I don't know how that would work here in the United States because we're petty. We dislike people for being likable. So, and this is obviously not something that is done, tangibly, because everything is measured by likes and comments on Facebook. But when we start detracting from popularity, people, really petty, immature people, will be like, that person is too likable. I'm insecure in myself, so it's going to make me feel better to take down their personality score.
You're right, because with all the Karens there, all right, I don't know how I got to be the name Karen, but
Karens
it is.
and Kins, yeah.
But if let's say we'll go back to the ranch thing, working at a bar, you don't bring someone their ranch, and just because they didn't get the ranch that they thought they asked for, that they didn't ask for, now they're like, beep, 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 beep.
And suddenly you're the world's shittiest bartender.
Yeah. Oh, right here it says, China's social credit score and surveillance. By 2020, China plans to give all its 1.4 billion citizens a personal score based on how they behave Some with low scores are already being punished if they want to travel.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
So I guess my next question is like, is this going to be like Black Mirror, where the general population is grading another individual, or is it just kind of based on like speeding tickets?
I get what you're saying. I think it could go to be a shit show if it was just because someone else could lower your rating just because they don't like you. Mm-hmm. So, but that's crazy. I can't believe that. It said by 2020, so they just started doing it. Because Black Mirror, that was out in, 2019? So did they get that idea from that?
I think I asked you that too, but you didn't know because you haven't seen it.
So what's Black Mirror? Is that... so that was before this came out on Netflix?
By several years.
They pretty much gave the idea that this could happen, or that it was happening?
No, they made an episode about it, and Black Mirror has a bunch of weird concepts and everything, and one of them was the fact that you are judged by, and everybody cared how many likes they got on things, or like someone would take a picture, this girl, and it's taking a picture of like her meal, and everyone's liking it and everything, and everyone's being judged about who you are as a person. And as she gets stressed out and she has some bad interactions, she starts being able to not get a house, not be able to like, what was it? Like
she couldn't travel.
Yeah.
She got booted from some girl's wedding. And then ultimately, this is not a spoiler alert, but she does end up like in jail. So ultimately, yeah, that's exactly how I foresee something like that happening in the United States if you open that up in terms of like a general population rating score versus like some more like authoritative figure going.
Oh, you couldn't have that in the United States. People would lose their fucking minds if you tried to put a score on them.
Absolute shit show.
Imagine court. Imagine going to court to see if your score should be brought down because... I'm going to go back to it because you didn't bring someone that fucking ranch.
Okay,
oh my God, imagine getting cited for that, though.
I think you've had some kind of dramatic situation with ranch.
That's why I keep saying it to make you
What
guys
happened,
think that.
man? What happened?
Nothing happened. I just want to keep bringing up the ranch.
I'm a blue cheese guy, so...
Anyone who's ever worked in the food service industry has... shot up in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., going, oh, fuck, I did not take table 12, their fucking ranch. We've all done it.
Well, I don't know, man. I know people that can just drink ranch, get a 12-ounce glass and just chug it. Brandy Cuthrell. But, I'm not a ranch guy. I can't. It's too loose, man. I need the thick chunks of that blue cheese. Just put on the Wild Wing Cafe wings. Oh, my God. Dude.
Yeah.
Slap your mama. Whoa.
I like the... when I first got here, I said to him, I was wondering, I hope I'm not here to eat some chip. I hope I'm not here to do a spicy challenge or something.
We would warn you. I will give you that. We would absolutely warn you if we were going to actually put your health in any kind of compromise.
Well, he did have a good idea about some kind of beef jerky thing.
It's
right?
called Slap Your Grandma, and it's either, I think it might be a Carolina Reaper beef jerky, but yeah, there's people doing it on Facebook.
It's called Slap Your Mama?
Slap Your Grandma.
Slap Your Grandma, okay. See, I told you it's a thing. People say slap your mama, slap your grandma.
Why?
To make you ask why.
Is it because it's that delicious or it's that hot? Like, I need a little more context here.
That's delicious thing, right? Yeah.
What, the beef jerky? What beef jerky is that good?
I love beef jerky. How could you ever say that?
I haven't eaten beef jerky in approximately 7 years now.
Now
so.
you can't you can't say like Slim Jims because you don't know what's in those. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't call that beef jerky.
Some people do.
Those people shop at Walmart for their clothing. So.
Is that a shot at people to go to Walmart?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Here
I
comes
said
the
it.
hate mail.
You go to Target.
Absolutely.
Is this it right here? Slap.
Nope. Slap your grandma.
For God's sake, he said it 3 times. Slap your grandma.
Well, look, they don't have Slap Your Grandma.
It might be called.
You
Is
didn't
it
even look for Slap Your
Maddie's?
Grandma.
I did.
Maddie's Mattys beef jerky, something like that? I think that might be it.
Maddie's? All right, let's look this up.
Slap Your Grandma.
Anyway, if they can do this for me in like a soy jerky or like I've seen mushroom jerky, that's pretty good too. I'd try it.
I'm guessing vegan?
Yeah.
All right. I respect that. I mean, I will never be, but I respect that.
Yeah, that's fine. This isn't me up here telling people to be. It's just, I want to try this, but for ethical and health and moral reasons that exist within me, I will not eat this beef jerky.
All that comes up when I put in Maddie's Slap Your... I put Maddie's Slap Your. That way I don't put Grandma in it. Just everything that says Slap Your. It comes up with like this Cajun fish fry. It's like a powder, like a rub. I can't find anything for this.
You know what? I bet you any money if you looked it up, if you searched it on Facebook, you'd find it. Because maybe they're a growing company, but everybody raves about their beef jerky. Like a lot of people, even their normal stuff. So,
well, I'm thinking this could be another. Well, shit.
I'll
We got to find the vegan version.
I can oversee this one. I mean, we all know that it's not going to do anything to me. Y'all saw what happened to me in the one chip challenge. So it's not like there's going to be anything on this beef jerky that could actually take me out.
Well, so now you're getting cocky. We'll make sure these things are hot.
Okay.
You can't.
But it's just got to be on like a lettuce or something.
You rub the lettuce on the beef jerky.
All right. So, hey, so we got Kevin Lee in studio.
We do.
Welcome.
Yeah.
So Kevin, we met Kevin out playing music, and had him come over last fall and played our Rock the Pig 1.
Yeah.
We got Rock the Pig 2 coming up, man. I got 8 bands on that thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was a good
8
time.
bands, yeah. I'm excited about it, man. This is going to be like a little mini festival. I'm kind of like, yeah, let's get this shit on. But, yeah, Kevin, you play local venues around the Triangle.
Yeah.
All the way from Clayton to Cary to Raleigh. Do any Wake Forest?
Yeah, I do Wake Forest. I'm actually there on Friday. I'm at Lone Rider.
Well, that's where Pickled Onion is too, right? I guess.
Well, that's the Pickle Pub and the Pickled Onion, the original Pickled Onion.
Oh,
there.
okay. So, like, where did you start playing music? How long you been playing music?
My whole life. Back when I was a kid, I got a bunch of musicians in my family. My dad's a fantastic guitar player. My uncle plays bass. 2 of my cousins play guitar. My nephew plays guitar. My other cousin's piano teacher. So there's just music in my family. But I started when I was a kid. I made my dad buy me my first guitar from Toys R Us, and it was called the Terminator. And it had a little speaker built into the side of it. But, yeah, man, I've always wanted to play, and I used to hide out in my room playing all the time.
I want to find this
The
thing.
Terminator. So first of all, invite me to that family reunion because it's going to be a giant jam session. I'm so excited for that family reunion. Let's find the Terminator.
I'm finding the Terminator guitar. Toys R Us guitar Terminator.
Had a speaker built in. It runs off a 9-volt battery.
So that was going to be kind of my next question because, growing up I had like toy instruments that played the music for you when you hit a button. This was actually you playing.
Yes.
That's awesome.
But I hit it. It's funny because I hit out for a while doing it. Like nobody, like my family did, but nobody around knew that I played music until I was like 16, 17 years old. I hit it. I was very shy about it. And I remember I had
Is that it?
Nah, it was is it that one right there? The black one there?
That's Deadpool. That's kind of, I don't think he was out when you were a kid.
I mean, yeah, we're talking like early 90s. Well, yeah, the thing had a speaker built into it, and but I didn't play for anybody. Like I hit out. I was very self-conscious about it. I was very shy about it. And then I had a buddy who I grew up with, and one day he was one of my best friends, and finally he heard me play, and he was like, "You can play?" And I started playing, and he goes, "You can sing? Can you sing?" And I started singing, and he flipped the fuck out. And then we ended up going to a party, and it was a high school party, the ones you go into in high school around a bonfire. And he brought his guitar with him without telling me. And he comes running over and he slaps it in my lap and he says, "Shut up and play something." And so I'm like, "No, I don't want to, man. I don't want to." He's like, "No, everybody shut up and listen to this kid play." And I started playing, and then everyone started cheering for me, and that's when I started getting the balls to play. But in 2002, I joined a band called Streamline. I was with them until...
Is that on your arm?
Yep. I was with them until about 2011, but when I was with them, we opened up for Three Doors Down. We opened up for Hinder, Theory of a Dead Man, Nonpoint, Taproot, Seven Dust, tons of times, Godsmack. But that was like the biggest, that was further than I ever thought I'd go in music. But after that, I took a long break from music. I didn't play for about 10.
What happened? What happened with Streamline?
It was just, music industry was at that period where no one was buying music anymore. No one was buying music. It was that weird in-between phase where nobody was buying CDs and everybody was doing the one song either on iTunes or they were doing, or they were just, when YouTube started getting big, everybody gets music for free. Like, when's the last time you bought a CD?
No, yeah.
They're like pretty much non-existent anymore.
I got rid of all mine, actually.
And that's been a big hurting on the music industry because think about it. Like, I'll give a small number. Like, there was a period of time where bands stopped going platinum. Like if you think about it, if 3 million albums worldwide from a signed artist don't get bought, that's a small number worldwide. That's CDs of what, $13, $15? That's $45 million that band doesn't make.
How are they making their money, man, on Spotify and Pandora and iTunes? Because we have a friend that they just released an album, and it's free to listen to on Spotify.
I listened to the whole thing for free on Pandora.
Oh, Pandora? So, is Pandora paying them? Or ads? Or it's got to be. They got to be making money off of this somehow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, when you're in a band like that, it's not easy when you're an original band. You have to fund everything on your own if you're not signed by a record label or you don't have financial support. You got to do it all on your own. So that means you got to work your job. And then that's the agreement I had with our band, is that all the money we generated from the band would get filtered right back into the band. It didn't go in our pockets at all. It was all to, because recording, advertisement, CD duplication at the time, T-shirts, all that stuff, it all costs a lot of money. So it costs a lot of money to do that stuff. But we used to have shows that we would work it out with a bar or a venue where we would sell tickets to that show and we would keep the door, and then they would have a really busy night. So, but that after a while, it's just, we were together for like 10 years, and being with a band is like, it's a lot of personalities in one unit. So, So after I was exhausted of it all, so I took a break from it, and I didn't play music. Like, I didn't play music out. It wasn't that I didn't play music. I didn't play music out for a solid 8 to 10 years, and then I moved to North Carolina about 2.5 years ago. And
where are you from?
I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh, from Massachusetts.
Yeah. Okay. I was born in Lawrence, Massachusetts. I grew up in Methuen, Massachusetts, and I graduated from Salem High School in Salem, New Hampshire.
Okay.
So, but I took a long break, and then I moved down here, and everyone was telling me, "Kevin, what are you doing? Why aren't you playing music? You're good. Why aren't you doing it?" And I'm sitting there. There was so many doubts of like, I gotta learn all these songs, and because here's the thing. Everyone comes up to me at gigs, and they ask me if I have any of my own songs, and I haven't written a song in years since the band, So, and they ask why. It's because here's my thing. You could get up in front of an audience, right? I could, let's say Wild Wing Cafe. I could get up there and I could play a great song that I wrote, and people would be like, "Oh, that's good. Can you play Wagon Wheel?" People want to hear what they know.
Yeah.
And like I said, and there's no stress to what I do. I get up there and I play music, and I try to put my own flavor to some of the songs that I play and everything, and I get up there and just have a good time, play some music, and there's just no stress in it. There's no deadlines. I'm my own boss when it comes down to it. I get to book my own gigs. I get to I don't want to say play what I want to play. I do play what I want to play, but I make sure that I'm playing what people want to hear, because you got to, you know.
Yeah.
And what I try to do is I never use a set list. I go in there and I play every style of music possible. Like I play country, rock, alternative rock. I play some rap. I play R&B. I play pop.
Wait, what's the rap song?
Regulators.
Regulator. No, that's
Mount Up.
Mount Up. It wasn't clear. Wait a minute. I just had a brain freeze. I had it. It was right there.
Weren't you singing along with him last time
Warren
he played
G was
it?
on the streets trying to consume. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's why I don't use a set list, because when you have a set list, you don't know what your audience is going to be. So it's like when I walk into a place and I play there, I play the first 5 songs. I kind of switch it up and I see which ones get the best reaction, and then that's the direction I take my show in. You know, to see what people are reacting to, because I could go to one place and I could play a bunch of rock songs that I want to play, or 90s, and play the songs I want to play, and you just see people, they'll cheer and everything, but they're not really getting into it. Then all of a sudden you go to Wild Wing Cafe and let's say I play an R&B song, and you see people there moving their shoulders while they're eating their wings and everything. And I notice these things, so I'm like, okay, that I need to take it in that direction. And I try to cater to everybody, because that's the most important thing being a musician, is your fan base, your support. That, like, without that you're nothing.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I get that's the one compliment I get from people, is that my versatility, like how I go from one genre to the other and how I play to an audience. And people actually come up to me and they notice that. They notice that I do that. So,
how many songs are in your catalog right now?
I mean, hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds. But I usually, there's certain staple songs you got to play. You got to play the Wagon Wheel, the Chicken Fried. You got to play... I always play No Diggity, because people like that,
Isn't that's crazy? He plays Wagon Wheel, Chicken Fried, and then plays some Blackstreet.
I also play Jump. Did you hear me do House of Pain, Jump Around? I did that one too.
We did hear that. I heard that one anyway.
I
heard it happen.
A diverse playlist, sir.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
But this is something that we talk about probably with every single musician we've had on the show, is the demand for a well-performed cover. And I think you just said it best. People want to hear what they already know. And I just think that's the saddest thing, because there is such a, true songwriting talent is being overlooked. And I'm going to say in the Triangle area, because all of the artists we've had on so far are only gaining their traction by songs someone else wrote that have been on the radio for 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
So I guess if money aside, if you were given the opportunity to play original content, is that something you would pursue instead?
I mean, it's been a solid 10 years since I played the songs that I wrote with the band. But I mean, right now, it's just I'm at a moment where it's like, I don't know, I like taking songs and making them my own, but I just, at the moment, I don't have the passion to actually write right now. And it's like one of those things I have to wait to have that moment where I want to write something. And it's funny how you just talked about that, because music's a very intimate thing. Like, people connect themselves to songs. Like, everybody puts their feelings into different songs, or that's their song, and people have different interpretations of the same song, 5 different interpretations of what that song means to them. So when you can play that, that's why people want to hear that song. We had a discussion the other day on Facebook of talking about, do you think it's Bands and Clubs of the Triangle posted it. They said, do you think a band should a performer should play the same song twice in a night? I do sometimes, absolutely. If pretty much I'm taking place of the jukebox. So if somebody wants to hear it, I'm not going to play it 3-4 times in a night. But if someone comes up to me, and I've never seen this person at one of my gigs, and they come up to me and they say, can you play Hey Jealousy by the Gin Blossoms? And I'm like, oh, I already played it. If I say that and that person has never seen me before, I think you never know. You could play that song and you could be their favorite rendition of that song.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, that person comes back to your gig and they bring 6 other people because they rant and rave about you. And I think that's not here in the Triangle. There's a lot of great talent in the Triangle here. And I've met a lot of good people. Mike Mixer, Brad Benson's an incredible singer. He doesn't play out as much as I'd like him to, but he's Jason Adamo, great. Chris Overstreet, Andy Lyle Hall, very talented people. And there's a lot of talent here. But you just got to... I don't know where I went with that.
You were talking about, and I'm going to hit on that too, playing the same song in one set.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if you're playing a venue like Wild Wing, I mean, what do you do, like 3 hours there, 4 hours?
Yeah, 3 hours.
3? So what if somebody gets there and hears you at the beginning and leaves and somebody else comes in halfway done and they're, if you were there for 3 hours, and I don't see why.
Yeah.
As long as you don't play it like, the first and third song.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, who in the restaurant's going to be like, what the fuck? He's already played this. Jesus.
Well, think about how many times you hear a song in the jukebox at a bar,
Exactly.
But,
or in my car, sometimes I play the same song back to back to back to back.
Well, on the radio, too. I probably talk about this way too often, how when I'm listening to the classic rock station, it's the same rotation of the top hits from 1985 to 1989. And very rarely will I hear something that didn't quite hit those charts at that time. So, sometimes it feels good to listen to those same great songs that you always know and love, but also, what about that song that just kind of shakes it up a little bit, where you're like, oh, that's a good one I haven't heard in 20 years.
Yeah.
And it brings up all these great memories and feelings.
I also like taking a drive and just popping in Celine Dion and getting a good cry in. That's all.
I listened to Celine Dion this morning, and I did the same thing. I haven't listened to Celine Dion in literally 15 years, and she magically came on my Pandora, and I'm like, whew, okay.
Now,
okay.
Can you give us some Celine Dion at a gig?
I could try, yeah. I'd have to work it out into a different key.
See this one.
I just played. I've done "Tearing Up My Heart" by NSYNC. I've done "Bye Bye Bye." I've been doing that a few songs, and it's a good challenge. I've done Britney Spears. It's a challenge.
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think you recently played Britney Spears that we heard. Did you not?
I might have. There's a very solid chance of that.
I think you did, because I said something at the table. Was it at Wild Wing?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
That
one
just
more time,
pinged a little
or-
mean
I wouldn't put it past me. So
I think
it's
that's
awesome.
a great time.
But how about Queen? You got some Queen?
Freddie Mercury's tough. I'd have to change the key of the song.
Yeah.
I mean, and also too. I mean, to have a solo performer try to play Bohemian Rhapsody. It's just
You need somebody to help you? I'm there. I got you. I'll do the. Me soon, my love, we will not let you go. I got you back, man. I'm there for you.
He knows. So what I love about that, is you are not going to sing Britney Spears and expect or force yourself to sound like a 90s pop artist. So there's nothing I love more than a cross-genre cover. What's your favorite that you just totally shake up, sounds totally different from the original?
Of songs I do? Mm-hmm. Sounds different from the original. I mean, acoustic version of Regulators usually gets a pretty good, a solid reaction. And then another cover that I've done.
God, we're going to have to get a guitar and put it in here for...
Whoa!
That one,
Whoa!
it doesn't work. I don't know
What
if
do you
Kevin
mean
can
it
tune it
doesn't
up.
work? It's
Man, I tried
acoustic.
to strum Creep, Stone Temple Pilots earlier, and it's out of tune bad. It's
It's a pretty
real
easy
bad.
fix. I don't know.
That's the size of a Toys R Us guitar.
Yeah.
I think that is a Toys R Us guitar.
It's a ukulele.
So yeah, we're still waiting on Kevin's answer.
Oh my God, we just put him on the spot.
That's twice.
We can just gloss over this
God.
for a while.
We're the worst podcast hosts ever.
I don't think so. I think asking the tough questions is what makes us great podcast hosts.
I mean, from not me personally, but like I love like people that do like heavy covers, bands that do like really heavy covers, like when I Prevail did Taylor Swift's Blank Space.
So good.
Such a good
Yeah,
song.
that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like and people like I said, they want to hear what they know, and I don't blame them. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're there to do. You're there to entertain the people that are there, and that's. I mean, and you never know too. There's been times that I'll play a song twice. This happened probably like a month ago. You play a song the second time for somebody that came in that's never seen you before, and I got a booking from that person. You know, I played a private party for him. You know, so it's all about the support, because without support you're nothing. So basically, I think it's more important as an entertainer and a musician. Is how you carry yourself when you're not playing your music, because people still see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to be good to people in general, because people, and this is another topic, like people tend to, when you discover a band or discover an artist of any kind, at first you support what they do. You support the art, you support the songs, you support whatever they're doing. You support that. But after a while, it becomes that you're supporting the artist, not the art. You know what I mean? So you get connected to the performer, or you see the performer out. And I'm not going to name any names because this is on a national level. I wouldn't. But there's been bands that I used to love, and then I met them in person, and they were just arrogant, cocky, egotistical. I didn't care to really follow them anymore. It changed the way I thought about them, even their music.
They always say don't meet your heroes, because most of the time you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Which I think is the saddest thing. And I think, you know, people out there, celebrities, musicians, actors, writers, whoever you are, knowing you have a loyal fan base who would do anything for you, you have to carry yourself honorably. Because I can't agree with Kevin more that's traumatizing, you know, to truly adore someone and then learn that they suck as a human, rooted in their soul. And that's truly tragic to me.
I do have an opposite story of that, though. So you ever heard of Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, wrestler from WCW back in the mid-'90s?
That now I remember. Yeah,
he had the white hair and the goatee.
Yeah.
So you read everything online about him. They say he's a dick, a prick, can't get along with anybody, etc., etc. So I lived in Georgia for 3 years, right outside Atlanta, a little town called Kennesaw. But me and a buddy of mine I used to work with, we used to go out all the time, and we went to this place called the Twisted Taco. He was in there with his brother Rick, and they both wrestled in WCW at the same time. He walked by me going to the bathroom, and I was like, Steve, that's fucking Scott Steiner, dude. It's fucking Scott Steiner. I was losing my mind, dude, because I was a wrestling fan. Like, I got Goldberg's tattoo and all that shit, man. I was a crazy wrestling fan. So I told my buddy Steve, I was like, dude, when he comes out, I'm asking him for a picture. And I knew it was going to go one of two ways. He was going to cuss me out or blow me off. It was going to be negative, but I told Steve, get a picture of him, like, cussing me out or something, you know. He came out. I was like, Scott Steiner. He was like, yeah, what's up? I was like, man, can I get a pic? He goes, sure. Threw his arm around me, took a picture. Nice as fuck, man. Yeah. So, you know, you can't believe everything you hear about people.
Well, and also, too, you can't believe everything you hear about people, but also, too, people change. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't say that I didn't have moments. That's where I learned that lesson, was from experience. Like, when I was in my band and we were doing big things, it's hard not to kind of let your ego get carried away.
It's eating me up. I want to know who it was.
It's
What's it rhyme with?
Off the record. We'll save this one for off the record.
Yeah, okay.
But it's hard not to let yourself get carried away when big things start happening for you, you know? But I've learned from experience that if you have that attitude, people start to dwindle slowly. People start to dwindle, and the next thing you know, because I've learned, like I said, I can't say it enough. Your support is everything. So, like, I mean, your relationship with your supporters and fans, friends, whatever you want to call it, because I've had tons of people who've become close friends of mine now after playing around here for a while, and that's so important, because if those people weren't showing up to my gigs and weren't bringing their friends, and I didn't learn to carry myself a certain way when I'm not on stage or whatever I'm doing, if I didn't learn to carry myself that way, those people wouldn't keep coming back.
Yeah,
you know?
they'd be like, he's a dick, man.
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I noticed you at some of your gigs, man. You know, you get there before you set up. You know, you walk around, talk to people.
Yeah.
After you set up, you walk around, talk to people. Kiss the babies. You know, and
Yeah.
give the hugs.
I mean, during your sets, you're walking around, you're taking requests, and I just think it's adorable. I think and not like oh look at Kevin go kind of way. It's just like, wow, that's someone who truly loves what he does. So I have to tell you that I personally deeply appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it enough. Like, playing music for a living, that's pretty awesome, you know? I may not be, and I kind of like that I don't do it on a huge stage anymore. I don't do it, it's more personal, and I get to, my life's not so fast paced. I'm kind of, like I said, I do my own thing. I'm kind of my own boss in a way, and I meet a lot of good people along the way. So, and I also meet some crazy people, but that's just that's like anything else, you know.
I think that's just the journey of life, dear. No matter what industry you're in, there are just some crazies.
I'm strongly believing that if there was a credit score for people, that my old credit score would have sucked, but I would have brought that thing back up, you know. Yeah. And my credit score would be great right now, you know. I think I'd have a pretty solid credit score.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder how long it takes to get that thing up if you're in China. Like, if you really, like, I don't know, let's just say you had a bad upbringing, you were in trouble as a teenager, and your credit score plummeted to like 200. And then, you know, you pay off your credit cards, you do your time, whatnot. I wonder how long does it take? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a little too, what's the word I'm looking for?
Bullshit.
I don't know. No. It's just like too conceptual at this point. You know, is it being modeled after an actual credit score, or I don't know. I don't know if I'm thinking like, you go to jail, your score plummets to a 200, you get out of jail, but if doing like serving probation or doing community service time, like, is that how you earn it back? Is there like a program you can sign up for? Like, I have so many hypothetical questions around this.
Well, you learn to play a guitar and you play live music and your shit goes all the way up to 800.
Yeah.
No, that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
if you ever watch Chopped,
you play wagon wheel.
If you guys ever watch Chopped on the Food Network, I want to take a shot every time there's an ex-convict up there who's a professional chef. So you either become this amazing musician or you become an amazing chef.
Well, that's the other thing, too, with this whole pandemic, man. It's like, and that just kind of sparked it for some reason in my head. Like, it's all about what you do with your time, man. Like, I've seen a lot of people have some great things happen out of this pandemic. Some people learn to slow down. I mean, some people learn to, some people got pushed out of a job that they've complained about for 15 years, and then they found something that they like doing. Some people have picked up crafts or something they like to do, and they started their own company. Or, you know, there is some good things that came out of it. But the one thing since the beginning of this pandemic that I wanted to focus on for myself was, well, my music and like building up my live set. And the main thing I needed to work on was my mental health. Like, so, like, I wasn't gonna, like, stay in the house and be all scared and do all that stuff because, it's just me. I don't watch the news, man. I don't read the newspaper. I don't watch the news. I think it's so toxic. I think there's a lot of misinformation sometimes, and I believe people take the stories that they hear and they run with it and they let their imagination go. And for my mental health, I stay out of that crap. I just stay out of it, you know?
I agree, too, man. Like, the mainstream media, social media, they are making this country so divisive right now. This is the most divided I've ever seen this country, man.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's all because of them two outlets. Like, the algorithms in social media, they are targeting people that makes them change their train of thought when it comes to certain things. And they just target them with those algorithms. So all you're constantly seeing is negative shit.
Yeah.
constantly, or either you're seeing ads for shit that you Googled.
I just post funny shit every day. That's all. I post nonsense every day.
I do not. I am proud to say that I had my television turned off over a year ago. Like I used to watch ESPN all the time. I used to watch news networks. I don't watch any of that shit anymore. I mean, I got a Fire Stick, so if I want to watch something, I'll just watch Netflix or something like that. But I'll turn on my radio every once in a while and get like a hit of the news, like an update from the local news station, or I'll go to Facebook, and if somebody posts something political, I'll unfollow them.
Yeah,
I don't even want to see that shit.
I think people are letting, everybody has different personalities. I think people are letting themselves get carried away with things that they read and they hear, and then so many people are base their opinions on what they think of somebody just because they have different beliefs than them. And I try not to get involved with that stuff. And I try not to, like, back when I was working at the restaurant, the bar, and people would come to the bar and they'd sit down. Did you hear what was on the news? I'd be like, don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. I don't want to have any stories told to me. I believe what goes on around me. I believe what I see in real life. And, I don't let my mind go down that rabbit hole. And it's worked well for me because some people that have let themselves go that way, man, a lot of people are just going through some crap right now. Just keeping your mental health is very important. So that's the one thing I try to stick to. And I worked during the pandemic to build my following. I still stayed in touch with all the places that I was playing with. I stayed in touch with them. I bought a bunch of new equipment for when things did open back up. I mean, it's funny. I started here. When I first started playing in North Carolina, I started with just an acoustic guitar. That's all I had. And it was a friend of mine whose boss, because she worked at Zinberger and in Durham, and her boss heard me online and he really wanted me to play there. And I said, listen, I don't even have a sound system. Do you have a sound system? And he was like, well, how much is it to rent one? And I'm like, you're just going to be throwing money into a hole by doing that. It's just you wouldn't be able to manage that. I said, how about this? I said, the first 3 gigs I play for you will, because he wanted me to play there weekly, every week. So I told him I'll play the first 3 gigs for free if you buy me a sound system. And he bought me a sound system, and I started with that. And then I just, as time went on and the following grew and everything, I started just buying different equipment and building things up because it was funny because everyone in my family used to harass me and say, why aren't you playing music, Kevin? Why aren't you playing music? My friends would harass me, why aren't you playing music? And then I forget where I heard it, but it was a little thing, a speech I heard talking about focusing on mini goals, like little mini goals. Like say I'm thinking about going out there and playing music. Oh man, I got to learn 3 to 4 hours of songs all the way through. I got to get a following. I have to get connections. I have to get this done and this done and this done. And we can overwhelm ourselves with all this stuff. But when I sat there and I heard that mini goal thing, I'm like, do something every day or every week, however you want to space it out. That's something attainable that you can do right then. So I went out and I didn't even have a place that I talked to yet. I didn't even have a song list yet. And I went and got business cards made because it was like a motivational thing for myself. If I have a business card, that's something I'm working towards. Got the business cards done. I went out and I got photos taken. The one where I look like a lumberjack holding my guitar over my shoulder. I went out and got photos taken, and I built a Facebook page. And I was, okay, I did that. I did this, and I did that. Okay, I'm going to make some contacts. So I started talking to different places. And it's crazy when I did break it up like that, how that end goal started seeming like I could reach it more and more and more. This week I'm going to learn, I knew a ton of songs, but not all the way through. I haven't played them in so long. I took that long break, so I just said I'm going to sit down this week and I'm going to make sure I know these songs, just 20 songs this week all the way through. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this song, and I write down that one. And then next thing you know, I got hours of material. And my goal started seeming more attainable, and I started playing at Zinberger, and then next thing you know, people are coming to watch me play at Zinberger, and then they're asking me to play here and play here and play here, and it grew. So, little motivational.
No, I hear you, man. It's all about networking, put your face out there.
Yeah.
Create your brand.
Yeah. Hey, and that's another thing. Your brand is everything. So once you make a brand, don't be a dick. Because
right, yeah. That's the same thing with what I've got going on here. I mean, I've invested a lot into this, and I enjoy doing it, man. Yeah. I don't get paid for it, but I enjoy doing it, and the end goal is to hopefully monetize one day.
Yeah.
But, this shit doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff, there's no income with a lot of businesses, or they just don't even break even the first, however. You know what I mean? So it's all about just doing it. Like I said, like a lot of people I've known in this pandemic have just, I know some girl who likes making jewelry and little knickknacks and stuff, and she started doing that, and then she got I told her about the business card thing, and she got a business card made, which kind of pumped her up, because it's like you feel like a boss when you got a business card, You ever watch In Living Color?
Oh, a long time ago.
Remember the one where Tommy Davidson, he's like, "We are Funky Finger Productions." He's like, "I got to give you a business card. Wait, I'm fresh out. Howard." And the guy would be like, "BAM!"
Hold on. We're going to find that.
Oh, dude, you'll definitely find that on YouTube. Funky Finger Productions, man.
Funky Finger Productions.
Kevin Lee, musician, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker.
Yes. Yes, that's who I am.
I had a boss who told me every day be 1% better than you were yesterday. And you wouldn't believe how hard it is to do that, you know, because you're not thinking about the person you were yesterday when you go into the next day.
There we are, Funky Finger Productions.
Here we go.
We are now in business.
Hello?
Oh, look busy. Okay. Conference call. Nah, don't get me wrong now. Nell Carter's a gigantic talent, humongous.
But look here, what we looking for, Home Skillet, is somebody who looks like Cicely Tyson, but sings like Peebo Bryson. You know?
Quincy, stop playing. Fresh Prince gonna be all right. This here's long distance.
I'm here to hook up your phones.
Okay.
Now, ain't that a blip? Excuse me. I thought we had a bad connection.
Finally, I found you.
Mr. Iritani, look here. I'm Clavel, and this here's my partner.
Howard Tibbs III, how you feeling? Look just like Al Green.
Don't he? And we are Funky Finger Productions. Now, look here. Let me give you one of my business cards. You know I'm fresh out. Howard.
Bam! Look here. Pay no attention to this because that's my mother's recipe for supper.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
Natasha, right? This is my sister.
I can never give out a business card without saying "bam" ever again.
I want to make sure I add that to my repertoire of giving out business cards. Bam!
I don't know if I can find one. 1 second. BAM!
And then it just like, if you know magic tricks, like the coin thing, you can just like pop it up between two fingers.
Ooh, that would be slick. Ooh.
Yeah. So Hammered has actually got T-shirts now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just got some T-shirts. We don't have them right now, but yeah.
So get a T-shirt can and be like, BAM!
Bam! I just throw it at you.
And I was just thinking about, like, oh, what if it were just chilling on the back of my chair right now? Bam!
Well, I was thinking about giving out prizes to the winner of Hammered Trivia.
I already have a T-shirt.
Well, you never win, so I don't have to worry about that.
First of all, I've won one.
Well, how about we put it to the test right now?
No.
It's time for Hammered Trivia.
Now my feelings
Are you ready, Kevin?
hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
So, every time we have someone on the show, usually musicians, but hey, anybody, just so happens we've had like 4 musicians in a row, we play Hammered Trivia. So basically, it's 6 questions. It's going to alternate. You're going to go first and share the guest. All these questions are about music. All right?
Oh, boy.
You get 4 multiple choices. You get it wrong, bang, Laura goes to the next question. If it's a tie, after 6 questions, we go to question 7. All right. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah.
Question number 1. What decade is the hit single Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas from? Is it from the 80s, the 60s, the 70s, or the 90s?
70s.
That is correct. Kevin's off to a 1-0 lead. Are you ready, Laura?
No, now my feelings are hurt.
All right, this is pretty easy, though. I got to make sure you don't see the screen. All right. In which band did the big man Clarence Clemens play saxophone? Was it The Faceless, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, Electric Six, or George Thorogood and the Destroyers? Oh, boy.
I'm going George Thorogood.
That is wrong. It was Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
Every time. I swear to God, it's always the two I'm torn between. I choose the wrong one.
I knew the Faceless and Electric Six. You totally weren't going to pick those. But yeah, I knew you'd struggle with George Thorogood.
See, this is why I never win, because you fucking set me up.
All right, Kevin is still up 1-0. Question number 3, Kevin. What band's lead singer designed their famous logo? Was it Aerosmith, Motley Crue, Queen, or Poison?
Ooh. The answers one more time.
So you got A, Aerosmith, B, Motley Crue, C, Queen, or D, Poison?
Aerosmith.
That is wrong. It was Freddie Mercury. He designed the famous Queen logo. Chance to tie right here.
You keep asking the guests questions to the answers that I know.
Well, he got it wrong, so now you got a chance to tie it up. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, question number 4. In which band features Angus Young on guitar? Jesus. No, it's not the band. All right. The Ramones, Canned Heat, AC/DC, or Whitesnake?
AC/DC.
That was an easy one. We're tied up, 1-1.
Thank you so much for finally throwing me a bone.
You got it, baby. I'll throw it to you later, too. Oh, no. All right. As you were.
Get it on.
All right. What Led Zeppelin album featured Stairway to Heaven? Was it Led Zeppelin 4, Led Zeppelin 5, Led Zeppelin 2, or Led Zeppelin 3?
Led Zeppelin 2.
That is wrong.
I'm not a Led Zeppelin guy.
Led Zeppelin number 4. I don't even know if all their albums were numbered like that. I just know it was 4.
You know, I was actually wondering that because the only numbered album of theirs that I knew was a numbered album was Led Zeppelin 2. I didn't realize it went all the way up to, 44?
Yeah. Well, so it's 1-1, right? Mm-hmm. You can win right here.
Yeah.
You can win. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. In which band features Brian May on guitar?
Queen.
Ding, ding, ding. I didn't even have to read the damn multiple choice.
I win!
Laura wins!
Yay!
All right. Well, here's question number 7 would have been the tiebreaker. Before settling on Creedence Clearwater Revival, what was the band called? Was it Free Beer, Automatic Mess, Pud, or the Gollywogs?
I'm going Gollywogs just because that sounds super fucking 70s.
That was totally the Gollywogs.
I would have.
Sounds like a type of hobbit creature.
There's no reason for me to have known that. I'm just like, that sounds like the most 70s of them.
Oh, congratulations, Laura.
What did I get?
Round of applause.
I already have a t-shirt.
Well, that means I don't have to get you one, so we're good.
Wow.
It's totally solid.
Can you at least get me one in my correct size?
I mean, I'm not going to explain it to you again. I told you they don't have the women. I got to buy in bulk.
So why were you like all larges?
Well, in his defense, the cotton shirts that you get from most places usually shrink down extremely, and half the people that put on mediums or smalls are like this.
Yeah, did you wash it?
I did twice.
Put it in the dryer for 2 hours
Yes.
by itself?
No, not by itself,
Let
because
it
then
shrink.
it's not going to carry the heat. With more product in the dryer, it transfers the heat better.
Did you get a shirt shrinker?
Those exist?
A hose stretcher?
Shirt shrinker.
What?
No, what?
Did I miss something?
No, I'm just wondering myself, is that a thing? If it's not, it should be.
Shirt shrink.
You have to. You just have to keep a straight face, and you got to say something like that. You just got to
Oh.
be like shirt shrinker.
Yeah, you
Michael
can get
is my
those on
shirt
Amazon.
stretcher. He puts them on for me if I need him to be a little looser.
Yeah. Kevin, what do you do, man, when you're not playing music or not doing tile?
What do I do? I relax, man. Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm not a sports guy, so.
Yeah. I used to be a sports guy, but now I'm slowly just getting out of it, man. If something's on TV, well, I don't watch TV, but like if I happen to turn on my Fire Stick and go to the ESPN channel up there, if golf's on, I'll watch it. So, and football, I definitely watch football.
You
But
picked
everything
like the
else,
most boring sport to watch.
Watch
in
your
downtime.
mouth.
No,
Golf is exciting.
What is it?
Dude, they really have professional dodgeball too. It's awesome.
I feel like that's going to be a lot more intense. And
I saw it on TV one day. It
entertaining.
was like a real thing. They have professional dodgeball, and it's like I don't get what they do when they interview a guy. It's like, well, how'd you do that? It's like, oh, Timmy, I threw the ball and I moved. It's I just moved really fast. Like he threw right, I moved left, and
the shit you see on ESPN or Fox Sports 1 after hours, well, especially during the pandemic when sports were shut down, you could see like cornhole, professional cornhole, spike ball, maybe even horseshoes. Some of the shit that's on ESPN, man.
What is spike ball?
I've actually got spike ball.
That doesn't answer my question.
Well, it's like a little trampoline about yay big, and people stand around it. I think it's like 4 people stand around it. You take a little ball about this big, a rubber ball, and then you hit it into the net, and it goes up. Another person hits it into the net, and you spike it. It's actually fun, but when you're old like me, you can't play it that much. Yeah, you can be chasing balls around. Like, insert bad joke here. Yeah.
The pieces were there, I just couldn't put them together.
Yeah, but like me, I like watching a good Netflix show, man. Documentaries every night. Yellowstone. You gotta watch Yellowstone, man.
Oh, I gotta check that out. My biggest thing, like I got hooked on, and I know it was forever ago, but Breaking Bad, man. That show was just such an amazing show, and I refused to watch it. Everybody was watching it, and I refused to watch it until the final season. And once the final season started, I started binge watching it. And then when it got to like the last 3 episodes, that's when I had to play catch up because I can't do that. I can't watch a show and then not be able to watch it for another week. It would drive me insane to wonder what was going to happen next. The last 3 episodes for me when I had to wait was just like, was nerve-wracking.
I did the same thing with Game of Thrones. I was the last person to jump on the Game of Thrones boat, and I did exactly that. It was the very last season, and a friend of mine was hosting a watch party. She invited me, and of course blew her fucking mind when I was like, I don't watch Game of Thrones. So
yeah, you're the worst person in the world.
I was truly... a horrible person. Everyone around me, it was like the earth stopped and like somewhere in the distance a glass shattered, a dog barked, and I'm like, okay, I guess I know what I have to do now. So she gave me her HBO login, and just like that I was sucked into Game of Thrones. And then it was like the last 4 episodes of the very last season, and then no spoilers, but that was a colossal waste of my time.
If you haven't seen Game of Thrones by now, I will fuck it. I don't care. No spoiler alert warnings. You should have seen it.
I haven't seen Game of Thrones.
Well, she dies.
Okay. I mean,
she dies.
I saw it. I mean, it has a lot of boobs. I saw that, but
the first 2 seasons, man. Season 1 had a lot of nudity.
That blonde girl was, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I can get down with the show, but.
She, I think the first 2 seasons, she had a few nude scenes. Yeah, but then she kept her clothes on. She was like, I'm too good for this.
Well, because she became royalty after that.
Yeah. The Queen of the Dragons. What a waste, man. Like, the first 5 seasons of Game of Thrones was good. Then they killed it with the last 2.
See, and it wasn't that I didn't want to watch it. I did want to watch it. I heard it was a great show because the people that like were in love with Breaking Bad like I was, told me how good it was, and I wanted to watch it, but I was like, Kevin, do you really have the time to get consumed in something like that right now? Because I knew if I started watching it, it would consume my time. I was even one of those people that years ago I had to get rid of my PlayStation years ago, because you look at the TV, and you look at the clock, and you're like, oh my god, 5 hours just went by, and I wanted to stop doing that, so I got rid of it.
What were you playing?
Huh?
What were you playing?
Oh, I'd be playing Call of Duty, like.
Oh, that was the worst, man. God. There was days I would just sit there in front of Call of Duty for like 5 hours.
Yeah, talking shit to like 10-year-olds.
God, thank God. I haven't played the last 2 Call of Duties. I heard that, not the last one, but the one before that. I heard that was pretty bad. And I just quit. I don't even have a PlayStation 5.
I saw a meme one day. It wasn't really, I wouldn't say it's a meme because there was no picture. It was just like a descriptive thing, right? And it says, my mom has somebody over the house for a first date or whatever, and he comes up to my room, and he's like, and she introduces me to him, and he says, Dragon 72? He says, yeah, how'd you know that? He goes, I don't even know the name. He was like, Blue Man 87. Told you I'd bang you, Mom.
Oh, no.
Because of people talking crap to kids on Xbox Live.
You want to know how society really feels and how people's characters are? Listen to online gaming.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Some of the worst mouths you've ever heard in your life. And these are from little squeaky voices that belong to 8 and 12-year-olds.
Well, they're going to public schools. They're going through the public school system. Nobody teaches you expletives quite like middle school does.
I guess, yeah, you have a point there.
I mean, I know it's been a really long time for you, but that's where kids are learning their expletives. I mean, like a really long time. I don't think there's anything
Jesus.
really new you haven't heard yet.
Well, I mean, let me go get some ibuprofen, since nothing. I got nothing. For my achy joints, fucker. Oh, shit. Well,
and you wonder why he gave you an extra large shirt.
Right.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Now I was firing back at, the loser comment you made earlier.
I didn't say it either. I didn't say it. Hey.
Anyway, nothing but love in this room.
I got love for everybody. I got nothing. Hey, you know what? I got love for Kevin. Kevin,
I think we all have
thanks,
love for Kevin.
thanks for coming down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being in the Naughty Donkey Studios with us today for Hammered.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get here? It's not that far, right?
Like half an hour. It's not a big deal.
Cool. Yeah,
I drive much further for gigs all the time. So.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, that's the one thing, man. I think we've had people drive like an hour to come out here. People complain, man, but once you get out here, you're like, oh, it's not that bad.
People complain?
There's always
When he
people.
talks about people, he's talking about me. I complain every time I drive out here.
Every day.
Every time.
Oh. All right, Kevin, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely.
You got any gigs you want to plug, man? Your websites? If people want to see you, where can they go?
Facebook.com / Kevin Lee Rocks with 2 S's, because someone took one that said Kevin Lee Rocks with 1 S, and there's no picture for it or anything. There's no domain for it. So I just I took the Kevin Lee Rocks with 2 S's. But you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Venmo. My OnlyFans is, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was ready.
Oh, you don't have to lie. We know everybody's got an OnlyFans.
I mean, he's got money to make. He's got bills to pay.
That's a whole other podcast subject right there.
He's still picking up gigs that he lost through the pandemic. So, got to make ends meet somehow.
If you're doing what you love, Kevin, whether it's porn or playing music, you're not working a day in your life, right? That's what they say.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
The guys from Letterkenny. You don't know anything about Letterkenny. Great show, by the way, Letterkenny. Check it out. All right, man. So, Kevin, thanks again. Laura, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, folks, check us out. Next episode of Hammered coming up next week. I don't know what's on it yet, but hey, fuck it.
We'll be just as surprised as you are.
Peace.
Bye.